Hello, I'm Stephen Fry, and I've chosen for Celebration Day this portrait, this image, this photograph indeed, of my early childhood and adult hero, Oscar Fingal O'Flaherty Wills Wilde, the great Irish dramatist, thinker, poet. Who knows what he really knew about his sexuality, but when we see an image of Oscar now, and when I saw an image when I was a young boy growing up, aware of my own sexuality, he was a frightening figure, an inspiring figure. And so, as with a lot of portraits, especially perhaps photographs, you look into what is the present and you project onto it your awareness of the future, a future which was one of disgrace and scandal, but then this image began to stand for something so important in the 20th and 21st centuries. It began to stand for the bohemian, the artist, the perpetual student, the student prince, if you like. And of course, he was a gay icon and an Irish icon, an icon for all kinds of people. It's a remarkable image of a young man on the brink of something great. The first time I came across Wilde was because, as a boy of about 11 or 12, I watched the film version of The Importance of Being Earnest, and I was captivated by the language. I couldn't believe it when a young man comes in and kneels in front of a young girl and says, "I hope I shall not offend you if I state quite openly and frankly that you seem to me to be in every way the visible personification of absolute perfection." And I remember thinking, wow, can people really speak like that? It's simultaneously funny and glorious. Then I discovered his life, and it was like a hammer blow to me, because I thought, well, that's my future too. That's how gay men end up, in prison, in disgrace, in exile. And I sort of felt a terror and a pity. But I also felt, as I think a lot of gay people growing up feel, I felt a kind of vindication, an endorsement, that this great man could be an inspiration and that one needn't be ashamed. When he died in 1900, aged 46, his reputation was in tatters, and he possibly believed that he would always be associated with sin and disgrace and scandal. He couldn't necessarily foresee how the world would change. But over the 20th century, his reputation got bigger and bigger and bigger. And one of the most moving things I can think of is that his grave, his tomb, his sarcophagus in Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris had to be restored. Well, why? Because the limestone of the Sphinx sculpture that Jacob Epstein had created as his monument had corroded through the number of kisses that had been laid on the stone. Lipstick kisses had reacted against the stone as tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands over the years come from all over the world, and they go to Père Lachaise to see Oscar, and they want to, so still moved by it, and they want to kiss him. And if only he had known that, if only he had known that that's how he would now stand in the public eye. So every time you come here to the National Portrait Gallery, celebrate how things can change for the better in the reputation and the standing of people like Oscar, from the very, very depths to the heights of a kind of sainthood for many. And I would love to know which portrait you would choose for Celebration Day, a portrait that inspires you.